Do you struggle with proportions in your art? Hi, my name's Carrie, and today on Artist Strong, I'm going to share 3 different tips that will help you maintain those proportions in your artwork when working from photo reference. So there's 3 tips I'm going to show you today when we talk about keeping proportions. And the first one is to block in your drawing and make use of negative space. So an image reference that I'm going to work with today really makes the negative space quite clear. It's all of the dark around the figure. There's some ambiguity here because the shadow cast on the woman's face, Rosa's face, but I can look at where the black is on the drawing, on the photograph, and help me place the figure that way. The other thing I can do when I'm considering blocking in is look at the angle at which her shoulders are, right, for example, and then I know that those same angles need to be in my drawing, right? So I know that if my pencil measures and falls like this, then that should be the same matching angle when I draw it on my paper. Same here. We can do this with the face as well. So for example, I can see that there's kind of a diagonal like this along the left side of her face. So I can make sure there's a left angle there for myself. You'll want these marks to be light so that you can make sure you can erase away and they don't impact the quality of your finished product. So you don't want really, really dark marks because that will limit you. So this could be a starting point to help me start placing her as a figure on my paper. Because the other thing is sometimes you don't want to copy an image exactly when you're working from photo reference anyways. So it may not fill the same exact space. If I were going to copy this size, square for square, well then I'd want to make sure that I have the same distance here. However, I am more concerned about her face and kind of her shoulders and the top area of her collarbone. So that's what I'm going to focus on. So I have a smaller space now in which to work on her face and start placing things. So I can look more carefully at the angle that her chin creates and start putting that in on both sides. See where I see pieces of the puzzle kind of coming together, right? I can see there's a lot of dark covering her left side of the face, which is to the right for us as viewers. I can look at the line created in the angle from her hair, right? So you slowly start piecing together the space that her face actually takes up, right, on the paper, and you start to be more accurate about all of the objects within the image, whether or not this is portraiture or a landscape, it doesn't really matter. You're going to see that you have more accuracy of placement because you're blocking in and you're starting to make the lines so that you have kind of a box in which everything fits. So that's a kind of blocking in. You can also fill in entire areas, right? So as I start to get more detailed here, I can start looking at the shape created here between her collar and her neck, which is all shadow. So I might decide to fill all that in black so that I know where it all fits. The other pieces of the puzzle include having a way to measure. So for example, if I know that her eye fills this space, what's the distance between the other eye? It's usually 1 eye length. How many eyes does it for the nose? How many eyes take up the space in the length of the nose? Those are all things you can consider. The other thing you can do, which is step 2, is divide the space to help you see. So if blocking in like this is not giving you enough information and you're feeling nervous, you could actually draw a grid over the face or fold your paper into quarters so that you can see how it all works together. And breaking it down into some kind of grid or helping, dividing it even to quarters can help you see the angle of the face better, where the eyes fit and how they line up. All of that's really important. The other thing I'd tell you to do is, as you're working on this, is number 3, flip it around. You're going to have more information. This is all about helping your eyes see what's really in front of you, which a lot of times we don't actually have that full awareness to realize that we don't see all the details that are in front of us. And unless we train our eyes, we're not going to see them and we won't recognize them. That's part of why we need to flip things around and we need to use grid systems, because it helps trick our eyes to pay attention to more of the details that our brain typically ignores. You don't just have to flip it upside down. Flip it sideways, make it a diagonal. Find ways that help you be more accurate with your proportions. Be creatively courageous. In the comments below, share some tips and tricks that you use to help you maintain proportions in your artwork. I look forward to reading them. And if you want more strategies to help you build your skill and improve your drawing abilities, I have a free challenge below this video. You just click on the button below to sign up and learn more about it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week.